Hello Taurus, welcome to Divine Debut. This is Kathy speaking. How are you all? Thank you for being here. This is the 2020 reading. I do have a preview where I've already explained the cards as they have been put down. So we go month by month. We begin here. Okay, this is the month of January. And we go all the way around to December. But because I'm an astrology enthusiast, I also will give you another layer to this reading. So for those of you that love astrology, you know that the normal horoscope, the way it's set out, starts at Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Therefore, there are many layers here, and I will be referencing those. As I said, I will have the link for the first part where I explain these cards. This is the extended continuation of those readings. So the link will be in the description box below. So will all the cards that I'm using. So this is just looking at 2020, and I do go into a lot of information, so these readings may be a little bit longer. They are yearly readings, and I do love to go in deep. So, dear Taurus, let's look at 2020 and what else is happening around these areas. I would advise that you do watch the first reading because you can get more details from there as well. This is the extended. Let's start. Okay, so in January we've got the Hierophant, which is your card, Taurus. Let's see what else we've got on top of the Hierophant. Now, a lot of you know what the Hierophant is all about. If you want me to explain and go into further detail, you have to watch the first video. Okay, otherwise they will be way too long. Let's look at the Hierophant and see what else circles around January. So for those of you that obviously know astrology, as I was saying, if you don't, I just named all the houses. Therefore, the Hierophant would be the house of Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn is business. It's our status. It's the father. Okay. It's also where a lot of planetary energies are playing out in the house of Capricorn. We also have the North Node in the house of Cancer. The South Node is in the house of Capricorn, and that is all about fate, we know. So let's take the first card on the Hierophant. We've got the Six of Wands. So this could say to me that what this tells me is that in the month of January, situations around work, career, and anything to do with hierarchy, anything to do with restrictions and having to do things by the book. You know, this house here is also got to do with the law. So we've got the card of success. Six of Wands is a card of success. So a lot of you are doing well where business is concerned. We know that the Six of Wands is the card of successfully being recognized at your accomplishments here. Okay, so again, because the Hierophant is also anything to do with marriage and religion, it can also be beliefs. It looks as though what you have been insisting on believing in, you are on the right track with the Six of Wands. Okay, so some of you in January, in the month of January, could be dealing with a sun, moon, or rising, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Some of you may already have one of those signs as your moon or rising sign. Okay, so Six of Wands does speak of some sort of a successful venture, something that you are showing to others. You're leading the way. You could be the Hierophant, let's say, the person in charge, the one that sits on the throne, the boss. Okay, let's look at the Chariot, which is the month of February. Okay, ninth house matters. Ninth house is our beliefs. Can be dealing also with people that are at a distance, people from foreign places, distant countries. Some of you may be traveling, and you may actually be sneaking away for some sort of a getaway. And we know that the Chariot is also overcoming obstacles. And the house of Sagittarius, of course, is all about the truth. So some of you may be, if you've done something that you haven't told the world about, or a certain person in your life, then this may be coming to the surface, may be seen at this time. Okay, but we know that the Chariot is also a major arcana, so some of you may be doing a lot of traveling, maybe even for work, and this can also speak of moving forward in a very intelligent way. We've also got the Magician here, which is the card of intelligence, communication. We know that the Magician is Mercury, and Mercury is actually retrograding at this time, so be careful with communication. Make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's. The Magician is ruled by Gemini, which is communication, Virgo, which is looking at the details. So in the month of March, there is some significant communication or something that you are succeeding in. Again, the Magician has got manifestation skills. So let's see what else we have. We've got the Hanging Man, which can also speak of Pisces. And Pisces is also the house of magic. Very interesting. Now, the Hanging Man does speak of some sort of a sacrifice, but it also speaks of, with a magician beneath that, it says, as above, so below. So whatever is transpiring up in the sky, in the ethers with the planets, is giving you the enlightenment, okay, after your hard work, your sacrifices, and waiting for some sort of clarity, waiting on some sort of guidance. Some of you may even be guiding someone else that is at a standstill. With a magician, the Magician is all about magic. Now, others of you, because the Hanging Man is Pisces, and Pisces can also be wearing those rose-colored glasses, not seeing something clearly, you may be able to see the truth. And of course, we can flip the reading and say that someone else is seeing your truth, and that they're getting the clarity and the spiritual enlightenment with a halo around the Hanging Man's head. Okay, this could also mean that in March, even though there is some sort of a standstill, you're still manifesting. Okay, and because of Mercury retrograde, it is the time of going within, not doing much, but working behind the scenes, let's say. And once Mercury turns direct, that's when a second chance is at your feet. You've got the card of resurrection here. So let's see what this Judgment card is all about. Judgment is the sign of Scorpio. Now, dear Taurus, very interesting. I wanted to say here where the Magician is, this is the house of Scorpio. And Scorpio is, logically for you, it's your 7th house of partnerships. So there is some sort of a standstill where partnerships are concerned. And I would say that it's a very important time for communication. Okay, even, you know, communicating in a secretive way. Why? Because the Hanging Man being Pisces. Pisces is also clandestine relationships, but it's also some sort of an ending before something new begins. And because this is the house of Scorpio, Scorpio is also the house of the occult, and it's also the house of magic. So it is the house of intimacy. So this could be communication, going within, going deep, about how you feel in an intimate way, physically and emotionally. So opening up, communicating, but I see that in between these 2 months here, so we're talking March, April, that's where the second chance will come about. And we know that Scorpio is all about death and transformation. This is Pluto, and Pluto is power. Let's see what else we've got here. And we've got the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is the card of Virgo for me. Nine of Pentacles is, you know, doing all that undercover work, let's say, where because of Pluto here, which is very deep, and here I feel as though, because this is also the house of Libra and the house of partnerships, here I feel as though you're standing alone emotionally, maybe even getting ready, maybe even thinking of, you know, financially you're in a very good place. This is the Garden of Eden. Financially you're in a very, very good place, and you could be willing and able to take the next step, because this is the Nine of Pentacles, so it's one step before the 10. 10 is the marriage card, and not only is it the marriage card, it's also the card of commitment, you know, having something very, very stable, and we know it's the family card. So some of you may be getting ready to take that next step, and this could be a second chance. If you've come close to this in the past, this could be the chance that you're getting, because you are well in everything else. You seem quite abundant. What is missing from here is depth, intimacy, and connection on a very deep level. Let's see, in the month of May, which is your birthday, dear Taurus, is April, May. Let's see with the Ace of Cups what's happening here. And we've got the Two of Cups. Beautiful. Now putting these cups together, we've got 3 cups. 3 cups, which can mean a celebration. But we've gone from the Ace to the 2. And this is the soulmate card. Now this house is the house of Virgo. Since this is the partnership house, Libra, we've got the house of Virgo here. And Virgo can be our daily routine, but it can also mean love. You know, in your daily routine, love could also come through work. And this can also be some sort of a connection, an agreement, and something beginning where you, you know, you're on the same page with a partner. It could be a work colleague. Some of you may be partnering up in business. Okay, so again, because it's the house of Virgo, some of you may be getting in touch, maybe even becoming, taking the next step and getting on the same page with a Virgo sun, moon, or rising. And we know that with 3 of Cups, this would be a celebration, but it can also mean of a collaboration where work is concerned. And there may not only just be 2 people, because we've got 3 cups here. So you may have been in a partnership already where there is a third person, could be, for some of you. Let's take a look at the month of June. We've got the 10 of Cups, and that is family bliss, happiness on all levels. This is also the house of Leo, and the house of Leo is all about something that you've created. You know, Leo is also the house of fun. Leo is also the house of true love and risk-taking and children. Okay, some of you may already have your own children. If this is a new connection, you may already be a father or a mother, and this is the happy family. So let's take a card on that. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my goodness, it's in the reverse. And that is not what I'm doing. I'm not reading reversals here. So I've got to read it in the reverse since it came out like that. Now the Wheel of Fortune is a 10 when it's in the upright. For me, when it's in the reverse, it would go back to the 9, which is the Hermit. And the Hermit again is Virgo. Now, the Hermit can mean someone is still, you know, looking at a situation, trying to look at the details. The Hermit is also a strong spiritual card. So is this card here, which is the Wheel of Fortune. This in the upright would be the ending of some sort of a cycle. It's also a very abundant and very expansive and lucky card. To me, this is saying that your luck is just around the corner with the Wheel of Fortune. And the House of Leo, Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is clarity. It's, you know, it's the heart, it's warmth, it's true love. Here with Leo, we know, likes to shine their light. They like to show everything up on stage. They're very open to showing what they're up to. They're very generous. Here, I feel as though you are holding back still, not letting the world know about your happiness. And you are on the 10 of Cups here. Very happy here with the 10 of Cups. But for some of you, this could be a door that you are closing of the past. Why do I say that? Because the 10 of Cups would turn into the Ace. So there is some sort of a cycle ending. Maybe you're not showing it yet to the world. You could be starting, and we've got the Ace of Cups here. So in between the months of May and June, I would say that you're most likely closing up a cycle in love, maybe a family relationship, moving into something new, something that speaks to you very, very well and in a balanced way. And as I said, I feel some of you are not letting the world know about this yet. So now also with the Wheel of Fortune, this could also be the House of Foreigners. You may also be dealing with someone that is at a distance to you. Okay, let's look at the month of July with a Hanging Man, which is the energy of Pisces. And we've got the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords can mean quick communication. I know that roughly around mid-year, again, we are having another Mercury retrograde. Now, with the Hanging Man, it does speak of, again, it could be endings. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. Pisces can also mean wearing those rose-colored glasses, but it can also mean unconditional love. There may be some sort of a standstill here, again, in the month of July, and someone is trying to look for the answers here. There is quick communication coming through here. Now, with the Knight of Swords, this could also be some sort of an argument, okay? Someone, because we've got something that's stopped, someone that's not taking action, and another person is taking very quick action. So this could be a sudden enlightenment that comes through with a message. And this is also quick action. So after a stoppage, there is quick action. Okay, and the Knight of Swords is looking straight towards the Lovers, which can be communication in relation to a divine union. But also with the Knight of Swords, this area here is the area of Cancer. So it may be around your home, your heritage, your extended family, your parents as well. Okay, some of you may be, and if this is a relationship that you are keeping under wraps and not telling the world about, it looks as though here you may be dealing with others that are trying to figure out what's happening with you. And the Knight of Swords could be others or a certain person coming quickly towards you and asking you for the answers. They are looking for enlightenment here. Okay, let's look at the Lovers, which is the House of Taurus. The Lovers, which is the energy of Gemini. And we've got, wow, the 8 of Wands in the reverse. I'm just going to check the cards because I find it strange that we've got reversed cards here. Wow. Wow, it looks as though we do have a few reversals here, so I'm going to go with that. Okay, I have to. So the Eight of Wands here in the month of August, dear Taurus, we've got some sort of an inaction because of a decision that needs to be made. Now, with the Eight of Wands, this can speak of flight travel. For some reason, there is no flight travel. There is some sort of an important decision where love is concerned, and there is some sort of a blockage where even messages are concerned. So with the Eight of Wands, they're not hitting the target. So there is some sort of a mismatch, some sort of a blockage here in the month of August. And also because we've got in the house of Taurus, Taurus can also mean our values, self-worth, okay, and also anything to do with the earth. Okay, now Uranus is transiting your house, the house of Taurus, so you know this can be sudden changes where values are concerned and there are no messages. Those messages are not hitting the target. So some sort of a miscommunication here in the time of August, some sort of lack of communication, again, because maybe there is, the blockage could be, are you going with your head or your heart, dear Taurus, in the month of August? What's happening here? And again, there is a stoppage where flight travel and movement is concerned. Let's take a look at the next house, the next month, which is the month of September. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune, which does signify changes, some sort of a cycle ending here. And it does also speak, again, of foreign places and people, worldly matters, you know, having the vision, a different vision, like a wider perspective on worldly matters and obviously other cultures. Now, the Wheel of Fortune can also mean truth. It can also... Now, this is the house of Gemini, and we do have the card of Gemini right here with the Lovers. So Gemini is all about communication, and again, there is no communication here. Some of you may be dealing with a Gemini. Also, we've got fire here, the Wands of Fire. So someone could be Gemini with a lot of fire in their chart. But the house of Gemini is all about communication. It's all about collaboration. There is no collaboration here. And for those of you that are dealing with a Gemini, you may not be feeling very loved up where a Geminian person is concerned. Now, this is also the house of... This is also the house of siblings and neighbors. And I do see quick communication, but there is, again, a difficult communication here where there is someone is trying, it's got to do with the family and with siblings. This could be a fight where two people or more could be on a different page. So, and that could be in, you know, with one person is willing to communicate and the other is not, right here in this area. So again, with the Wheel of Fortune here in the house of Taurus, Taurus is your house and Uranus is transiting this house. It's got to do with self-worth, values, and Uranus can have a lot to do with freedom, breaking free from a situation that was not worth your... not on the same level of worth as you are, let's say. Now, this is also the house of comforts, and the Wheel of Fortune being Sagittarius, it is Jupiter, and Jupiter is abundance, expansion, growth in the month of September. And also here with the Jupiter card, again, foreign places and people, but also the truth, having a different perspective, a worldly perspective on matters that deal with the outside world, you know. The Wheel of Fortune can also speak of travel, traveling to a distant land, to a different place. And the Wheel of Fortune, again, Sagittarius, also is about beliefs. Your beliefs may be changing at this time. Let's see what else we've got here with the Wheel of Fortune. And we've got the Knight of Wands. There we go. So this is more than likely, it is travel, traveling for work, maybe following your desire, whatever you have created. If that is the case, you may be taking business, you may be expanding your business to the world, but this can also mean traveling. Okay, and you may also be speaking the truth about what you desire and what is your worth. Now, the Knight of Wands we know is holding the Ace of Wands, which is, it's that light coming on. It's knowing the truth. It's seeing clearly, and it's what you feel very passionate about, what you desire to do. Some of you may be just traveling the world, taking some time out and doing some travel. Okay, let's look at the month of October. And we've got the Fool. So this is a continuation. When I say continuation, you're still, you know, willing to take that risk. You're still going on a journey. You've started a journey, but this is, maybe some of you are hoping to even move to another country. With the Fool card here, the Fool is the sign of Aries. And it's interesting that this is the house of Aries. Now, we've got the Queen of Cups here. She is very intuitive. We know that the Queen of Cups has got strong intuition. She's someone that's got an open heart. Some of you may be dealing with someone who is very intuitive. You may be going with your intuition and knowing that by starting this new journey, and this is Major Arcana, it's huge. October, you're starting a brand new cycle. You're willing to take the risk and you're going with your intuition. Okay, let's look at the month of November. And also here, Aries is also the warrior. They are ruled by Mars. So if you are dealing with someone around you in your periphery that you are starting a new cycle with, know that they are very, they can be very fiery. So obviously the Queen of Cups could be someone that's got fire in their chart as well. Could be Aries, could be another. They could have strong water in their chart as well. Know that they are very, very intuitive. And so they've got water and fire. So water is very sensitive. Fire is very spontaneous and go get them. So know that they could have fluctuating emotions. Okay, now for those of you that have got strong water in your chart, obviously we've got Aries here. And Aries is the beginning of a new cycle, just like the Fool. Of course, dear Taurus, your 7th house is the house of Scorpio. The house of Scorpio here. So interesting to see that we've got the Hanging Man. You've got the Hanging Man twice. So could also be that the Queen of Cups has got strong Pisces in their chart as well. That could be the water in this Queen of Cups. Let's look at that 9 of Pentacles, which is the month of November. And we've got the High Priestess, which is the Queen of Cups. Same energy. Now, the High Priestess is a number 2. You've also got the 9 of Pentacles twice. Now, here in the house of Pisces, which is the 12th house, we know that the High Priestess is the Virgo Piscean axis, right? And the 9 of Pentacles is the Virgo card for me. The High Priestess is someone who's very spiritual. Some of you may be dealing with someone that is very spiritual. They may be working within the spiritual realm. That's what Pisces is. It is the house of endings also, but Pisces can also mean clandestine relationships. Now this is the month of November, so we've got, let's say, the house of Capricorn, the house of Aquarius, and the house of Pisces here. So the house of Pisces can also be hidden enemies, things that are hidden. It's also the veil, you know, not seen clearly. Neptune clouds the area of Pisces. Neptune is transiting through Pisces. It's very strong. So you've got to go with your intuition. If you are dealing with someone that is very spiritual, we know that the High Priestess is a number 2 and she can bring in balance. Okay, so in the month of November, you may also be holding secrets, not letting people know about what you're up to. And that could be what you're doing in business, of course, because we know that with the Nine of Pentacles, that is someone that stands alone. And this could mean that you are, yes, emotionally, maybe even connecting with someone who could be very spiritual, or you're just keeping that information at bay, away from others. Now, this could also mean that in the month of November, you are turning more spiritual. So you're aligning with spirit, looking for answers. Some of you could also be visiting someone who is a tarot reader, someone who is connects well with spirit. And of course, the High Priestess can also speak of religion. So yes, your faith, your beliefs may also be changing. You've got the card of Jupiter twice. You know, Sagittarius is all about our belief system. Let's look at the Page of Wands, which is the month of December, how you end the year. So you're willing to take a risk. The Page of Wands can also be a messenger. Page of Wands is the minor arcana of the Fool. There could be secretive communication where one person is willing to take a risk and the other person is trying to catch up, or maybe even communicate about their desires and actually wanting to finish up the year with taking a risk on anything that you desire. Let's look at the 12th month, and this is also the house of Aquarius, which Aquarius is about the future. It's also about groups and associations, and it's also the house of earned income. Let's look at the Page of Wands, and we've got the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords means it goes back to the Five of Swords. Someone is conflicted about taking that step, taking that risk. Okay, it may need, for some of you, this may take a little bit longer before the other person you're dealing with is ready to take that leap of faith. But this also says to me that some of you may be staying put, not ready to travel. Maybe you are stopping at some point and you could be expecting a visitor. Because yes, here you've started a new journey. Here you are traveling, no doubt. Here there could be a reason why you are not able to take that trip or not able to take a risk at this time for whatever reason. Okay. So what I'd like to do now is I'm going to take a couple of cards on the Queen of Swords, which is the general energy of the year. Queen of Swords can be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You've got more Gemini in your reading here. Let's take a look. And we have the Seven of Pentacles, and it's in the reverse. So Seven of Pentacles would go back to the Six of Pentacles. Some of you may be dealing with a past partner, let's say, or someone that is very outspoken, someone who's been through their own issues, their own hardships, someone who logically would be very fair, because I'm not reading reversals here. If this is someone that hasn't been truthful, you may have stepped into, you know, the next stage and letting them go. We do have Knight of Swords down here. We do have the Eight of Wands. So for those of you that are dealing with a Gemini, I would say more than likely you may be filing for divorce at some point in the year. I would say around this area here. You've been stuck in a situation, looking at a situation for too long, and now you are ready to speak your truth in 2020. Let's take another card. Six of Pentacles to me is Libra. So also this Queen of Swords could have to do with Libran energies. And we know that the Six of Pentacles is either paying out money, receiving money, or just looking for equilibrium where love is concerned, and you're not going to settle for anything less. What else do we have? And we've got the Four of Wands. So yes, Four of Wands is the marriage card. We know it is the card of celebration. Some of you that have been hoping to get out of a relationship because you've been dealing with someone that was quite stealthy. Some of you may have felt emotionally that you've been standing on your own, even though you may have been in a committed partnership or relationship. I do feel as though you may be transiting in a transiting mode, because the Six of Wands can also be a card of ego. That you may have been in a committed partnership where there was strong ego because of someone's success, maybe. Let's take some more cards. I'm going to also take the Mystic Moon Oracles. Let's take a look. One card on each position. For Taurus, please, Spirit. One card for each month and each house. For Taurus, 2020. Okay. First position, free will. Free will. In the month of January, you are rebelling, just like, as I said, Uranus is transiting Taurus. So some of you are feeling a bit more free, afraid to act. You may be breaking the mold of the Hierophant, which can mean restrictions. What's interesting is that we've got the card of Taurus here, which is very spiritual, and we've also got the High Priestess. So there is a connection, a divine and very spiritual connection for some of you. Okay, you are around a person where there is strong connection on another level. Okay, so you're acting much more you feel more free in the month of January. Also, in relation to work and career, it looks as though there is more freedom of choice. There is the freedom to go for what you are very good at. Let's look at the next month, February. We've got karmic partner. Yes, some of you may be dealing with a karmic partner. And of course, because this is the house of Sagittarius, Sagittarius can also be the house of beliefs. You may be dealing with someone that may not be on the same level with you, speaking spiritually. Okay, and this is a karmic situation. Karma means that something is fated. So if someone's been trying to get away with something, whether it's you or whether it's someone that you've been dealing with, this is all about karma, and that is meant to happen for whatever reason. Let's take a look at the month of March. We've got balancing the scales. And this is also anything to do with legalities, anything to do with red tape. Balancing the scales can also mean Libra, things to do with partnerships, relationships. And this, of course, is the house of Scorpio. Scorpio, which is your partner's money, money from other sources. Maybe that's why you're taking time out. You're trying to balance the scales. And we know that there is some sort of stoppage here with Mercury retrograde. And also, whilst Mercury is turning retrograde, it's a very good time to go deeper and look at situations to do with the past, people from the past. There could also be something from the past that you're dealing with, some legal issue to do with money from other sources, and also intimacy. Let's look at the house of Libra, which is the month of April. And we've got Dark Night of the Soul, which this is right on top of the Judgment card. The Dark Night of the Soul is very Scorpionic, very Plutonian. Someone obviously has gone through the Dark Night of the Soul, or they may be going through that in the month of April. Dark Night of the Soul is darkness, right? It's the shadow side. Someone is obviously delving deep within some sort of a partnership or relationship, looking for the answers. But the good thing is that with the Judgment card can mean resurrection. So I feel as though the Dark Night of the Soul is the lowest point that someone can get to. There is resurrection after this darkness. And I feel that's why some of you are showing up as the Nine of Pentacles. Now, if you are dealing with a Virgo, and I'm going to say Virgo could also be Libra because this is the house of Libra, then they could be the ones that are going through the Dark Night of the Soul. Let's take a look at the month of May, which is your birthday, and this is also the house of Virgo. Let's see what else we've got here. And we've got third party. Wow. Third party, and we've got 3 cups here, dear Taurus. Third party, obviously. For those of you that are still, may have started divorce proceedings here in the month of February, in the month of March, maybe even thinking of doing that, then you're still in, I feel here that you are still in a third party situation. So there is a third party nevertheless, whether some of you have started your divorce proceedings, they're still not out of the picture. That's why probably we've got the third party. For those of you that are not in a third party relationship, in a love triangle, third party could also mean an external person. Someone is sticking their nose into your business. Now, for others of you, you could be dealing with a partner that is still married. They could be going through divorce proceedings. Now, this is the Virgo house. So Virgo is all about the details, reading, those fine lines, that small writing between the lines. That's what you need to do here. And that's a very good time to do this. Third party, again, I feel that there is some sort of jealousy in the month of May. This could also mean that someone is jealous of your happiness. For those of you that are opening up and speaking to a best friend, let's say, that could be the third party. And I feel that there is some sort of jealousy because there is someone in your business here. Let's go on to the month of June. And this is the House of Leo. So let's take the card here, and we've got commitment. Wow. We've got a commitment here. So this is true love. In the month of June, you are at a point of committing to someone. Now, for those of you that are actually coming out of a committed partnership or relationship, that's why the wheel is turned in the reverse here, which says that you are ending a committed partnership or relationship. And as I said before, the Wheel of Fortune here, being in the reverse, would go back to, because it's a 10, it will go back to the Hermit. And the Hermit is someone who is growing spiritually. Through endings come new beginnings, but you're not totally finished and out of the woods here. Now this wheel will turn at some point, which will bring, and I would say it's right here in the month of September. So with the Wheel of Fortune, and we know that Jupiter can also speak of legalities as well. Some of you are coming out of a committed partnership or relationship. Others of you are vowing and committing to someone that you truly love, because this is the House of Leo, and it's also the House of Risk and Children. Now, Leo is, as I said, it's healing, it's clarity, it's warmth. So the month of June is a very important time for you, dear Taurus. Let's look here at the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords, Hanging Man, and the month of July. And we've got Awakening. So beautiful. Especially being on top of the Hanging Man here. Obviously, there is an awakening here in the month of July. And I know that the retrograde of Mercury again is around June, July. So we know that that's the time to go within and check the details, look things over, look at past situations. Knight of Swords can be a communication, someone who is communicating to you, and there could be an awakening. Awakening can speak of spirituality, but it can also mean that you are awakening to some clarity because of communication, quick news coming through. I do feel as though you are going through your awakening here, no doubt, in the month of July. And we know that this is the area of Cancer, and Cancer is where the North Node is. North Node is where we're supposed to be heading to. Now, this is also the house of family, your heritage, right? Your home. You may be awakening to something. This is a realization of your sacrifices in your foundation and your family. Okay, let's look at the month of August, and this is also the house of Gemini. August, and we've got barrier. See, there is a blockage and there is a barrier here, especially with the Eight of Wands being in the reverse. So this is a closed door, as you could see. For whatever reason, there is a barrier. There is no flight travel. There are no messages of love here, because there is a necessity, I would say more than likely, for travel, for communication, not only through messages but through physicality. I think that some of you are desiring to move, to travel, and you're probably going to make that decision. You're going to break any barriers. You're going to end some sort of a cycle, because you're going to see things from different eyes in the month of September, sorry. Let's take a card for the month of September and the house of Taurus. And we have family. Wow. Interesting. So some of you may be wanting to travel to go and meet family. Some of you feel as though you are dealing with someone who is family to you. This could be a soulmate connection that you feel you're calling to go visit, travel. And And this could also say that you are also communicating with family in relation to your values, and what makes you feel loved, what makes you feel comfortable. Okay, this could be you speaking your truth and being very strong about it where family is concerned. This could even be extended family. Let's look at the month of October and the house of Aries, which is all about new beginnings. We've got regret here, the card of regret. So some of you may have felt as though you've been taken for a ride in the month of October. There is some sort of regret, and someone obviously was not trusting their intuition, could be, and they may, because we know that the Queen of Cups is someone who's usually with an open heart, or someone that did not trust their intuition and may have missed some sort of a chance to start on a new journey. I don't know what else this card could be about. All right, let's take a look now at the month of November and the house of Pisces. So we've got the High Priestess and the Nine of Pentacles. We've got destruction, and this is the Tower. And the Tower can speak of something abruptly changing, shifting. Destruction can also mean something that can also be revealed where secrets are concerned. So something suddenly being shown to you, dear Taurus, here, or something that you've been holding under wraps could be shown. And so yes, the month of November. The month of November is something quickly shifting and changing. I'm going to take one more of these cards for that. And we've got a victim here. We've got the victim. So someone is feeling victim here, and we've got regret and the Tower and the victim mentality here. Now, what's really interesting is that I do believe that probably this has got to do with something to do with self-worth issues. Why? Because the victim does remind me of the Hanging Man, which is, again, Pisces. Pisces can be someone that's giving unconditional love and not receiving back. But this is also, it reminds me of Chiron, which is the wounded healer. Chiron was transiting the house of Pisces. It moved into Aries. We do have the regret card, and I do feel that obviously someone is feeling the victim here. Now, this could be like natural disasters in the month of November. Now, this could also be, this doesn't have to be a physical manifestation. You know, the Tower can also speak of having enlightenment. We do have the High Priestess, having enlightenment where self-worth or victimization is concerned. So this could be more emotional, all right? And this can also be part of your awakening. For those of you that have felt the victim, or you've been dealing with someone who had been feeling the victim, this could be a realization for someone else that you've been dealing with, okay? Because I see many similarities here in the month of November and October. Let's look at the month of December. We have settling, and settling means something that is that we are settling for, something that we are accepting. This is acceptance here. So what this says to me is that in the month of December, as I was saying before, someone is wanting to take a risk, someone is wanting to go on an adventure, but for whatever reason, they're not able to. And that's what that card also signifies, the settling card, not being able to take that adventure, not being able to move. Now that messenger, the Page of Wands, can also be a child. So for whatever reason, that could do with we're settling because of a child, because of an adolescent child, or a message that comes through. Let's take a card here, and we've got big dreams. So dear Taurus, big dreams does speak of Neptune for me. It does say that this year will be a year of big dreams for you. Pay attention to your dreams as well. Also alert, be careful with wearing those rose-colored glasses, with having living in an illusion. Also, Neptune can also signify anything to do with this escapism. So this doesn't mean that you will be trying to escape a situation. Nevertheless, it could be someone that you are dealing with. Big dreams can be a very positive card, but on the negative side, it can mean an illusion. Let's take one more. And we've got Muse. Muse, this is the canvas and the paint, and this is what you can create. So the big dreams and the Muse card is saying that it is in your hands, if you've got big creative dreams, to paint that canvas, to paint your life in the colors that you want. It feels as though you've got the free will. We are free to act and do whatever we want to create in our lives. And it's all about taking action and doing that, doing so. So what I'd like to do now is I'm going to take the Lover's Path Tarot. And let's look at your love life. Let's take a couple of cards for Taurus, please, Spirit, Taurus. We have the Five of Coins, which is usually two people feeling left out in the cold. This is some sort of an imbalance in your love life. Maybe even money could be the factor that is holding you to feeling left out, a sense of lack. What else do we have? We've got the Two of Staves, which is the Two of Wands. So usually we do have someone holding a world ball. So for those of you that are feeling left out and cold towards a partnership, you may be ready to walk through a new doorway. You're making a decision to go with what you desire. And some of you, again, as I said, you could be dealing with someone that is at a distant place or a foreigner. What else do we have? And we've got the King of Coins. And the King of Coins is my Taurus card. King of Coins is someone who's very stable. This is the father. This is someone who's very dependable. Okay, and this obviously also speaks of stabilizing something where love is concerned. You're very slow moving, very practical in your getting closer to love. You're also someone who is going to be very patient, and you're looking for value in your commitments, in your relationships. Now, for those of you that are feminine, King of Coins could be your could be a new person, or could be someone that you are committed to. As I said, King of Coins is someone who, once their heart is won over, they're not going anywhere. There's someone who is very loyal. Now, what I'd like to do, dear Taurus, is I would like to take messages from heaven for you. Let's take one card and see what the message is for you. So Taurus, please, Spirit, 2020. Taurus, what do they need to know from the heavens? What's the message from Spirit. And from the other side, we care about you. We want you to take care of yourself. And this is a number 20. 20 is, again, judgment. So what it's saying is that it's time for you to take care of you. I know that Taurus can be very giving. They give a lot. They're very dependable. A lot of people depend on them. Okay, so it's time to take care of you first this year, dear Taurus. Let's take a Universal Love Oracle card for you as well. Oh, we've got the card. And we have Sacred Union. This is beautiful. I did mention that there is a sacred union that you are dealing with in the year of 2020. As I said, we had the Hierophant and the High Priestess. We've got the Lover's card. We've got the Two of Cups here. Let's read from the book, Sacred Union. A touch, word, or glance reveals your beloved. A current friendship may blossom into something more. An everyday connection transforms into a physical and/or spiritual relationship. With the blessing of the divine, love becomes all-embracing. This is your season of love, a time for romance and happiness. Honor yourself and all your relationships by celebrating their divinity. Raise up and care for your friendships, unions, and partnerships as your most precious treasures. You are a beautiful soul. Look within and you will see it. There is a pearl in your heart. Close your eyes and feel it. Within each other, you discover love's infinite spiritual realm. In union with the divine, you can come to know the greatest love of all. So again, this also speaks of spiritual connection and maturation for you, dear Taurus. So this is a beautiful ending to your reading. Wow, very, very interesting. I think I will leave it at that. I do hope that it shed some light for you. You know that you always need to come back to check out the details and see what's going on. Thank you so much for your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. Wishing you all the best and catch up with you real soon. Thank you.